A Super Bowl champion.
The Green Bay Packers have won the Super Bowl.
The Packers' all-time leading scorer.
A game winner for Mason Crosby.
It's time for the Mason Crosby Show with Mitch Nellis on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network. Powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook and on the free Odyssey app.
A lot of questions about Josh. I'm going to stick with the statement that we put out as an organization and just let the process play out.
Matt, as far as football goes, do you have to prepare for the possibility that you might be playing some of the season without him, especially this time of year?
Well, I think a lot's going to happen between now and then.
Have y'all made communication with him the last 3 days? Or?
Yeah, respectfully, I'm not going to elaborate on anything.
Matt, how do you feel about
This is the Mason Crosby Show. Mitch Nellis, Tommy Wirtz, Mason Crosby with you. That's Matt LaFleur, part of a much longer quote that we'll hear during the show today. As yesterday afternoon, we got the news that Josh Jacobs has been arrested, turned himself in, 5 charges, 1 felony, 4 misdemeanors. None of it good, Mason Crosby.
None of it good. I did see that statement released today that the district attorney's office says he's released and that they're still working through the investigation. It is interesting, and here's a little interesting inside the locker room stuff. We'd have meetings every year. You'd sit down, you'd have meetings, and they'll tell you the laws of the state of Wisconsin and how things are worked. And so as I'm reading that, it's like the law is that if they suspect or come to your house for any kind of domestic disturbance, someone has to be removed, right? Yep. So, yeah, we'll see. It's kind of a weird situation where it's the police officers, in a sense, charged, and there was something in the police department. Now the district attorney is trying to figure out if these charges are going to stick, if they're going to change, and all of that. So we're kind of in this limbo phase, trying to see exactly what the charges are going to be, if there are going to be any formal charges by the district attorney. But either way, any way you slice it, once this kind of situation happens, it's a distraction. It's tough. It's obviously the Packers organization is just doing what they do, and they're going to just kind of push this thing, down and say, all right, we're not going to talk about it. We're not going to let the players have to address it and talk about it. And I do want to ask you all that because I was in that locker room, and, this isn't a situation we had to deal with a lot while I was there. There were a couple relatively minor ones, I would say, in relation to something like this.
Sure.
But do you think that's the right call to not have players whenever they were scheduled to have open locker room in this situation, to kind of say, all right, we're just not gonna deal with this? Do you think that's the right call by the Packers there?
I think it is, because as much as I love everyone in that locker room, all it takes is one person to say the wrong thing, say the insensitive thing, to say
nothing good can
nothing good can come of it.
I'm just making sure that at least that's at least understood.
The Brown, and this is just minutes ago, the Brown County DA's office said it is not yet prepared to make a formal charging decision following his arrest on allegations. District Attorney, as you said, David L. Lassie, said the office has requested additional investigation, noting there's reason to believe further evidence may exist that would impact whether criminal charges are appropriate. After reviewing the available evidence in the case, the Brown County District Attorney's Office is not yet prepared to make a formal charging decision, the statement said. Our office has requested additional investigation as there's reason to believe that additional evidence may exist that would impact whether criminal charges are appropriate and what charges would be issued. As of right now, the charges investigators are seeking include battery, domestic abuse, criminal damage to property, battery, domestic abuse, that's 1. Criminal damage to property, domestic abuse, that's 2. Disorderly conduct, domestic abuse, that's 3. Strangulation and suffocation, that's 4. Intimidation of a victim, 5. Sounds really bad. Yeah. Interesting that more investigation, like if it was, I assume there are cases where they know right away these are and we're pressing charges or we're following charges that the DA's office, again, we're
that's
innocent.
The hard part though, is like where So the police department separately
Yes.
can like decide these charges, these 5 charges
based on the phone call or the interview with
yeah.
the victim or whatever that might be or
and
look
then
like.
go and arrest Josh Jacobs.
Well,
and
you
now,
said there has to be an arrest.
yes, like something
removal.
has
Or
a
removal.
something.
Okay,
But
okay.
like I just find it interesting that like a police department would put these 5 charges on somebody to arrest them. And then, now the district attorney's like, well, we don't totally agree, or we see something different and they have to investigate further. Again, any way you slice it, it's not ideal.
No. It's a bad, no matter what happens, it's a bad look and a black eye. And I hope that these charges aren't true in a sense of, I hope domestic abuse did not happen. Like, I hope that, and I mean, I
hopefully
assume
it was just an argument,
a disagreement, yes.
Something that got blown out. But yeah, like my hope in these situations, obviously, is that it wasn't as serious and like everything can got to be sorted out. But we want justice, right? We want the truth to come out, and you want the right things to be done in this process. And it sounds like the district attorney is doing that. They're going to seek and like figure out exactly what the right path is forward. So the victim and the accused, everybody, the truth comes out and justice is served.
To that point, and to what you just said, the DA's office noted that while the standard for arrest is probable cause, the standard for issuing criminal charges requires admissible evidence that rises to the level of proof beyond a reasonable doubt.
Yeah.
And those are 2 very different things in what the police can make an arrest for versus what the DA is actually going to follow through and press charges on, because the DA doesn't want to press charges if there's no proof, if there's significant doubt, if there's other evidence that's not
probable cause. The police have to act on, right?
Yes.
And then the district attorney, once they put a charge on there, now they're seeking criminal action. And that's when it becomes hefty and serious. And then we're going into a different conversation of like what happens with Josh Jacobs, kind of football career, and like what happens with him in Green Bay.
Well, it feels like there's 2 outcomes, right? That Josh Jacobs is proven innocent or Josh Jacobs is proven guilty. And the corresponding move would be he is a Green Bay Packer. He is not a Green Bay Packer, right? After
you would think
those like the 2 outcomes.
Some, although, I mean, there are people already out there and the fans and listen, fanatics are fans, and we're not going to tell anybody how to fan. There's a contingent of fans that are already saying release him.
Yeah, there's a mindset that like if these charges, if it got to a point where somebody made these
5 charges, it's not like 1 or 2, it's 5 charges.
I know, and I still believe in justice, and I still believe like you're innocent until proven guilty. So like in any situation, don't condemn any of the charges. If any one of those things is accurate and like is charged against him, then he's in a bad situation.
Yes.
Right. Like if the DA comes back in any of these charges
and says, there's
like
5
towards any kind
but
of
2 of them,
domestic abuse
2 of them,
situation.
right. 2 of them are sticking, and 2 of them, the DA is going after. Something I did not love here, Mason, you've seen A Few Good Men.
Yes.
And you remember when they object and then they strenuously object. Yes. And they're like, oh, well, and then, they got in a fight within their own council, Demi Moore and Tom Cruise. And I forget the other actor's name, but I don't love that Jacob's lawyers came out and said, Josh vehemently denies the allegations. Mm-hmm. I think denies the allegations is strong enough.
That's strong enough.
I don't think you need to vehemently deny I think Josh denies the allegations, and this matter is in the early stages of investigation with important evidence that has not yet been made public. We ask for fairness and restraint while the judicial process takes its course. I think the word vehemently, like exponentially, weakens their case and weakens their statement.
I can see that. Yeah, and we're gonna have an attorney on here, and so it's going to be interesting to kind of pick their brain and say, all right, what is the next process here? What would what should we be looking for in this investigation? And that kind of comment, it does almost feel like over the top
Yeah.
where it's like
Just
trying to.
You can deny the allegations as you and if that's and as you should. Like if that's where if you think something else happened, you should deny that. You don't need to vehemently do it. Like
And one more thing, real quick, Crosby. I know that this is much bigger than a football story in regards to Josh Jacobs, but how is it not distracting if your OTAs like start today, right? And then you're a teammate of Josh Jacobs and a story like this comes out the day before.
Well, that's why they just said, like, all right, we're not going to let anyone talk to the public. Like, we're not going to do anything. We're going to just try to push our football stuff into the forefront. We're going to work on our stuff, and we're going to kind of put this issue and let like the powers that be deal with it. So, yeah, I mean, they're going to be you're talking in the locker room. You're trying to figure out what's going on. Everyone's trying to get some answers. It is a distraction whether you want it to be or not, and you just try to lock into what you can control at this moment.
No score after one at AmFam. We'll keep our eyes on that. Although it only took Chad Patrick 9 pitches to get through the first inning. He's already on pace to pitch a complete game. He's unbelievable. Yeah, it's ridiculous. The counselor, Michael Hart, will join us coming up at the top of the 1 o'clock hour to talk about what these charges mean, what it looks like from a criminal defense attorney's perspective, and what Josh Jacobs' team is working on right now. He's Mason Crosby. He's Tommy Wirtz. I'm Mitch Nellis, a.k.a. Thunder. We are the Mason Crosby Show.
A Super Bowl champion.
The Green Bay Packers have won the Super Bowl.
The Packers' all-time leading scorer.
A game winner for Mason Crosby.
It's time for the Mason Crosby Show with Mitch Nellis on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook and on the free Odyssey app.
A lot of questions about Josh. I'm going to stick with the statement that we put out as an organization and just let the process play out.
Matt, as far as football goes, do you have to prepare for the possibility that you might be playing some of the season without him, especially this time of year?
Well, I think a lot's going to happen between now and then.
Have y'all had communication with him the last 3 days? Or?
Yeah, respectfully, I'm not going to elaborate on anything.
This is the Mason Crosby Show on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network. Mitch Nellis, Tommy Wirtz, and Mason Crosby here with you. Top of the 1 o'clock hour, high noon in Cheyenne. It's one of our favorites.
Yeah.
Why? What do you want to be in Cheyenne?
I love Cheyenne.
Man, we would crush if the three of us like went and lived on a ranch for a month. We would crush it. We would eat well. We would wake up early. We would work the land. Like we would do well on a ranch.
I don't want to wake up early now for my job. That is no.
What would Tommy's job be on the ranch?
But Tommy wouldn't have to do the post game show. We'd be working the ranch.
Late nights milking cattle. What do you mean?
No, you milk the cattle at 5 in the morning.
I don't think you milk cattle, right?
Yeah. Aren't cows cattle?
Depends on what kind of ranch. Yeah, I mean, if you have like a dairy farm,
I know that.
That's not.
We're gonna be like
out there.
We're gonna be like the Duttons. We're moving down to Texas, and we're gonna have a beef steer farm.
There you go.
I love.
I can handle that. That's I've definitely managed that kind of stuff.
Nice. This is the Mason Crosby Show, and of course, we are talking about the Josh Jacobs situation. Today's opening day for the Green Bay Packers OTAs. You heard there from Matt LaFleur via our good friend of Ryan Wood. Matt LaFleur's press conference, I believe, was supposed to be held inside and was moved outside, so it wasn't going to be live streamed. Player availability canceled today. I'm sure there'll be player availability tomorrow or Friday or next week, and at some point there will be people talking about the Josh Jacobs situation. But as of right now,
they'll have a meeting right now.
Yeah,
I'm sure they were like, all right, we got to have a couple meetings before we address all of this.
Yeah, the Packers want to control the story or the narrative or what the messaging is as much as they can before it gets out. And you never know what somebody's going to say on a podcast. I mean, Miles Turner might say Giannis is late to everything, and then Giannis might talk to Pat Beverly and tell him he's never late, and Bobby Portis might have no idea what's going on. So you never know what Packers.
We don't want that situation.
No, we don't. But right now we know that there's been charges from the police department. They have not been charges from the district attorney. They are continuing the investigation. And joining us now on the guest hotline is the counselor, Michael Hart, longtime criminal defense attorney in Wisconsin. Mike, how you doing, sir? Oh, test. Mike, do you hear us? I can hear the line is there.
Hear it in the background.
Yeah.
I'll try to give him a call back real quick.
Yeah, let's call him right back. He's there. He's all hooked up, but
I will say, okay, let's just again, this is a serious situation that they're looking into.
Absolutely, yeah.
But we also, we're a sports talk show and
right,
like doing all that. So just looking at the ramifications of like the situation, right? If it's like you start looking at what do they do here? If the district attorney comes back and like a couple of these charges stick, like do the Packers make a move post June 1st? Because I was looking at some of those things, and a post June 1st release of Josh Jacobs frees up $11 million in cap space.
Right.
And
not that you can do much with it right now because there aren't that many guys available.
Well, they're talking about that's when that Sweat, trade starts coming, or you start doing,
Yep. So not at the running back position specifically.
Yeah, I mean that's a sad reality that we're in. It's just like everyone's going to be sitting waiting. All right, this district attorney has all these, all this investigation, all this stuff to look into. Once they make a decision, that's when all the chips start falling, right? That's when we can start kind of saying things. Right now, anything that anyone says, we're just speculating on what possibly could happen.
All right, let's go back to criminal defense attorney Michael Hart. Counselor, are you there?
I am. Sorry about that.
No,
Good
no.
afternoon, fellas.
Hey, technology happens. No worries. Well, we know we know the names of the defense attorneys, and you weren't on that list, so I figured I could give you a call and you'd be able to talk in generalities. And we want to start right away with when a situation like this arises, and it's a high profile, whether it's an actor, a musician, or an athlete. What like what are the steps the accused takes? What are we seeing play out right now, I guess?
Well, the first thing anyone, whether they're high earners or not, should do when they're contacted by law enforcement is to contact their counsel and keep their mouth shut. What's happening now is Mr. Jacobs apparently was arrested or ordered into the jail. He was booked on 3 misdemeanors and a felony. His lawyers, I'm sure, reached out to the district attorney's office to find out the status of things. They were told, I'm gathering, that they didn't have a complete investigation. And so while they were considering charges based on what reports they had to that point, they wanted additional information to see whether they could support criminal charges beyond a reasonable doubt. The standard that the DA's office has, whether they have a provable case, is different from the standard an arresting law enforcement officer has, which is just probable cause to arrest.
Yeah. So in this situation, and I lived there in Wisconsin for a long time, and I remember sitting in meetings and kind of attorneys would come into a team meeting and they would give us, lay out all the laws of the state. And so what to expect in any kind of situation. And I remember this one specifically where it says any kind of domestic, abuse charge, if there is an allegation that's put forth and police are respond to that, someone has to be removed from the premises, right? Is that how the law is read there in Wisconsin? And I guess I didn't understand. Whenever this came out, though, I didn't realize that police could have these charges and put these things and bring somebody into custody under these charges, and then the district attorney kind of goes about it and might decide that some of these charges aren't warranted. And now there's a whole nother process as it goes into the district attorney's hands.
Yeah, that's correct. Domestic violence, is a unique area of the law, and it's not exactly accurate that someone needs to be arrested. But once the complaint is made, the arresting officers in the field, on the scene, make an assessment about credibility, right? Is this a believable story? And if, as apparently they did in this case, they believed this young woman, they can issue what's called an arrest warrant. Now, I'm guessing, given the fact that the allegation was made on, I think, the 26th, and he wasn't booked, or it was made on the 23rd, and he wasn't booked until the 26th, that he wasn't on the scene when the cops arrived. So they came, took a statement from her, considered it. Maybe she had medical needs or not. They certainly took photographs of her and made a call in the field about what in their view, the appropriate charges to refer in were. But ultimately, it's the district attorney's office who has to prove the case, and they're the ones who ultimately make the decision about whether there's sufficient evidence to issue formal criminal charges.
So as a defense attorney, I mean, in these types of situations, I mean, you've probably seen both sides of it, where it's like, all right, they maybe the police officers put charges and like took someone in, and it was a lot, less, or it wasn't like maybe a little extreme for the charges that they placed. But if you're going into this as a defense attorney, your client, like that type of situation, I mean, what's your mindset whenever you're coming into a situation like this to go represent a client with 5 charges and one potential felony charge attached to it?
Yeah, well, every case is different, but in the case of a professional athlete or any kind of notorious defendant, these guys are easy targets. They're high earners. They're easy targets. I would impress upon the district attorney's office that this guy deserves as fair a shake as anybody else. before you ruin this guy's career and perhaps knock him out of employment for the year or 6 months or 8 months, you better be damn sure that this woman is telling the truth. And here's why 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, what she says is not accurate. And yes, there was a disagreement. Yes, there's probably some gray area here, but let's talk about a way to resolve it without formally issuing criminal charges. That's how I would generally approach it.
Michael Hart joining us here on the guest hotline, powered by Gruber Law. One call, that's all. The lawyers for Josh Jacobs last night released a statement that he vehemently disagrees with the charges and they want the process to play out. Well, they just released another statement that reads, "We are extremely pleased that Josh has been released from custody and that no criminal charges have been filed against him. As we previously stated, we encourage everyone to keep an open mind while the matter is fully reviewed. We remain confident that once all the evidence is gathered and evaluated, it will confirm that no charges should be brought against Josh in the future." And this kind of goes along with the DA, who in the last hour or so released a statement that said, "Further investigation is warranted. We are continuing our investigation and to get all the answers." When this happens, I mean, there are people already on the internet saying, that he's free and that, she told you it was all fake and whatever. And there's other people where it's like, hold your horses. They didn't say that. What does a statement like this say, Mike?
It says that the easy thing to do would have just been to issue the criminal charges, right? That would have been easy. The fact that they are considering whether to issue charges suggests that there may be more here than meets the eye, right? You can't just accept these allegations at face value. You have to dig a little deeper. I think the DA said we're looking for we're told, or we believe there's additional information out there. What he's saying is corroboration. In other words, what supports what either side says objectively, perhaps a text, perhaps some written communication or a voicemail, but something that would support what either side is saying, if they've got a statement from Jacobs at all, and maybe they don't. But if they don't, then what they're trying to do is find support for what she says. They know ultimately it's a credibility call. If they don't have any objective evidence, then it's her word against his, and maybe they're not satisfied with that.
Yeah, I mean, so that's the thing, right? Is like, like the district attorney has to look at it from do we actually see the evidence and like it's inconclusive, or it's conclusive that we need to act on it. So in these types of cases, though, that do you feel like to his attorneys that's the proper way to go about it? You need to just continue to release these statements to make sure, because this is in the public eye. It's not just like a normal type of situation. You got to stay ahead of this noise, because unfortunately in these high profile situations, it kind of gets reversed, right? Like it's like you're guilty until proven innocent in a lot of these types of situations, at least from a social, from a society mindset. So is this exactly how you would go about it if you were the defense attorney in the situation?
Yeah, again, I don't know much about the case, but time is never a bad thing in these cases. The court of public opinion is another factor that lawyers have to consider, right? They're protecting their clients. The only reason that I would ever speak to the media in a case like this is if I thought it could help my client, right? It doesn't do me any good to have Mitch refer to me, excuse me, on the radio if what I'm saying doesn't help my client. So what these lawyers have made the assessment that, hey, we need to tell people to keep an open mind, that he hasn't been charged yet. And by the way, they're also pointing to Goodell and the powers that be within the league that, hey, before we rush to judgment here, let's take a deep breath. Maybe what she says is the product of, jealousy, is the product of some other bias that caused her to make this call other than what actually occurred.
Michael, you just kind of hit on my next point right there, is that like that's another piece of this as well, right? Where there have been situations where guys, it gets cleared up, but it's kind of becomes a a stain on the NFL and a stain on the organizations, and guys lose their jobs or get suspended, and then down the road that like all the charges are dropped and everything ends up not being a big case or situation. So you got to get ahead of it here, just because again, the NFL can suspend or do anything if it's just a detrimental to the NFL and if it's not a situation that they want to deal with at the moment.
Yeah, well, the classic case is the Duke lacrosse situation, right? Those guys were college students. I think they all got expelled. And it took months to, clear up the idea that this woman was making all this up for reasons unrelated and untethered from what she actually claimed initially. And so, hey, let's just slow this train down, NFL. Wait until due process has run its course, until Jacobs has been given an opportunity to present his side of things, if he's going to. And for us to do a deep dive behind the accuser's statements and see perhaps what motivated her other than what actually happened.
Michael Hart joining us here on the Mason Crosby Show on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network. So what is next, and what is the timeline for what is next? We're waiting to figure out what the DA is going to do. Does Josh release a statement, or does he just do it through his lawyers? And what is the time? You said let time. It doesn't have to be immediate. Let time. But what is a timetable with this situation?
Well, on misdemeanors, the statute of limitations in the state of Wisconsin is 3 years. So the DA's office would have up to 3 years to decide whether they're going to bring a misdemeanor charge, or 6 years on a felony, in which case they would have up to 6 years. As a practical matter, neither of those timelines is realistic. I would expect, depending upon what they're waiting for. Maybe they're waiting for fingerprints. Maybe they're waiting for DNA. Those things have to go to the state crime lab. And as you know, our system is backlogged with stuff. So they may wait a couple months. But there will be a resolution to this, I would expect, before the start of training camp this summer, I would think, right? The NFL will do a parallel investigation so that they can satisfy their obligations under the collective bargaining agreement. And Josh's agents, for sure, will do all the speaking for him. They don't want their guy opening his mouth on camera or otherwise. That's their function.
Michael, I got a question, like from the victim side. Do we expect to hear anything from her attorneys or anyone in that situation, or is that usually a space where they just kind of like go under the radar and let this process play out? Because we've seen this in the public space before, and I don't know from a defense attorney's perspective, if the victim starts putting more things out there and doing all that, do you start like thinking that it is a little less viable, or like how do you look at it from a victim side, as far as where more information, or are we going to see more information come out from her side of things?
All right, so that would be a key indicator on what her motivation here is. The accuser doesn't need a lawyer, right? She, if she's the true victim in the case, has the prosecutor or the district attorney's office who's advancing the criminal claim on her behalf. If she has a civil lawyer, right, that might tell us that is her intent to bring a civil action and she's looking for dollars. And that might also impair her credibility and maybe a further indicator of, why she's coming forward. But on the pure criminal allegation, she doesn't need counsel. The district attorney's office will represent her interests in criminal court.
Oh, all interesting stuff. Yeah. I mean, it's what's your thought? Like in these types of situations, how quickly do you think that the district attorney will figure out and run this investigation through and have some charges or lack of charges pressed against Josh Jacobs?
Yeah, I would think that they'll make a decision. And again, assuming that there's no forensic evidence that they're waiting for, right? Assuming they're not waiting to hear back from the crime lab, or they're just following up with witnesses or phone records or text information, I would expect a decision in the next several weeks. What's happening now is Jacob's lawyer is talking to the DA's office. What are you looking for? Can we help facilitate this? the season's starting, training camp is starting, OTAs are starting. We really need to stay on top of this. Well, we're thinking about this, that, or the other thing. And maybe his lawyers say, look, on some sort of deferred agreement, we can agree that there was a argument or a disagreement. It was not physical. He certainly never put his hands around her throat. There's no strangulation. There's no suffocation. We'd be willing to accept some sort of deferred arrangement where he'll undergo counseling and some domestic violence treatment or training, and in exchange for that, you'll make the whole thing go away. Before they could cut that deal, they would have to be in touch with the league's office and make certain that they were cool with that, and that it was a mitigated case rather than an aggravated case. There's no reason to go the whole 6 games. There's no reason to go 3 games. How about a game and a preseason game and call it a day?
Michael, I have a question in regards to the public hearing this information. How close are those timelines for transparency of what's going on with the courts and with the cases versus when it is this high-profile case that is in the public eye? How quick does that information get relayed to us, the consumer?
Well, not very. Until the case is issued, when it becomes a public filing, we, the public, have no right to an ongoing investigation with either Hobart or the district attorney's office. Now, I suppose someone in the media could file a Freedom of Information request with the Hobart Police Department. I would expect the response would be, we're not providing anything because this is an ongoing investigation. When the investigation concludes, I would expect that the public will be given more information.
All right. Michael Hart, criminal defense attorney in Milwaukee. I think we're going to keep you on speed dial as things progress in this case. If we need to reach out to you again, I'm guessing we can. Michael Hart with Hart Powell, Milwaukee. Thank you so much for jumping on today, and we'll talk to you soon.
Anytime, guys. Thank you.
Appreciate
All
you,
right.
Michael.
The counselor, Michael Hart, joining us here on the Mason Crosby Show and answering a bunch of our questions. And, it's kind of, I think it's just kind of like a wait and see right now, Mace. Like, that's what, like, there's really nothing the Packers can do. There's nothing that the NFL is doing its own investigation. Obviously, the DA office is doing their investigation. The police have done, their work. And as fans and as sports radio and as whatever, viewers of the Packers, it's just kind of wait and see for us, right?
Yeah, unfortunately, that's how this process works, and we're in a time that it seems like the NFL. These things tend to happen this time of year. I think in Green Bay, like, we have to look at it and be like kind of fortunate that these types of situations have been few and far between. And I kind of saw a list, I think it was yesterday, of some of the past situations that have happened with players, there in Green Bay. And I mean, if these charges stick and like the DA approaches this, I mean, this could be one of the more high profile Packer player, situations that has gone down there in Green Bay. So
absolutely. Yep.
And then it does, like, because we are a sports show and there are things we got to look at it from a team perspective. If Josh Jacobs is not on this team, obviously this side of things, the life side and all that, like this side of things is really, it's the most important thing. But from an organizational and a team side of things, this has huge ramifications for what this Packers organization was looking to do this year.
Absolutely, it does. We'll talk about that. We'll also talk about the Brewers and Kyle Harrison from last night and Abner Uribe from last night. I know there's been a request for a certain theme song, and you will hear it next, coming up here on the Mason Crosby.
You think you could tell us what to do? You think you could tell us what to wear? You think that you're better? Well, you better get ready.
I'm so embarrassed.
Bow to the masters. Break it down! Degenerate into something fools. We just got tired of doing what you told to do.
This is the Mason Crosby Show, brought to you by D-Generation X.
There it is.
Here on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network. I'm embarrassed for everything that Tommy Wirtz believes in right now.
Tommy brought it.
What do you mean?
Did he? I mean, he brought something.
He brought something.
Sure.
You're
He brought
welcome.
something.
Yeah.
That was for free, by the way.
That was a free show.
Yes.
That was for free.
Yeah, Seymour free show. Nicely done. Mitch Nellis, Tommy Wirtz, Mason Crosby here with you. And of course, we play the D-Generation X theme song in honor of our very good friend, Abner Uribe, who, after striking out the final hitter of the top of the 8th inning last night, hit his chest, pointed to the sky, turned around, and gave 3 quick crotch chops to the St. Louis Cardinals.
That was
dugout.
while they were in the middle of an ABS check.
Oh,
Right.
yeah. And I thought for sure it was a ball.
That would
I
have been
thought
amazing. If it had been a ball, that would have been the greatest thing in the
I
history.
thought Murph was going to pull him no matter what after that
that would have
pitch.
been fantastic. He probably would have deserved it.
Man,
Oh,
that was
crazy.
crazy. I remember watching it in the moment yesterday.
Yeah.
If I had a drink, I would have spit it out of my mouth at that moment right there because my jaw hit the floor. I knew immediately Pat Murphy was not going to be going.
Did Murph did he address it after?
Yes.
Oh,
Okay, I didn't hear what he said.
Murph
so.
pulled him. Murph met him on the field.
It's just
First
like,
of all,
no,
He's
no,
like,
no.
absolutely not. We're not doing that. And then after the game, talked about it, claimed it was embarrassing.
Said we don't do that.
I would assume he advised Abner Uribe to apologize after because he did
To
in
the
his
team.
post game.
Yeah.
The key was
And to the fans and it's like, I saw some former players and some different people saying like, I mean, they got to have somebody in that space saying this isn't going to happen. Man.
No.
Right. Like Yelich or Woody are the,
The
are
people,
the
yeah.
ones who need to have a bigger role there and be like, this is not something we do.
two things can be true.
Okay.
Number one,
Yeah.
completely unacceptable behavior.
Yeah.
Number two, screw you, Cardinals. Like I am all okay. Like I
Man.
get this. Like, and Ali Marmol was speaking earlier today about it.
Yep. Before the
And
game today, he talked.
I really do feel like he was. Oh, okay. I thought I was zoomed in there. That's why.
Emphasize.
I do really think
Good looking.
that Abner Uribe was acting upon something brought up to him. Like there was,
He was
it looked like
he
it was
was reacting to
intentionally
something.
towards somebody in their dugout.
He spoke saying that they were given signs on like they're gonna hit Yelich and they're gonna hit Contreras when they go up to the plate, and
Which they didn't do.
well, and then Marmol spoke before the game and kind of said it was blown out of proportion.
Yeah.
Not that it wasn't a conversation
Right.
of something was being said.
There was
something was brought up.
There was negativity going on the field.
I
for
didn't
sure.
I didn't see it, but I saw Bowers got hit by a pitch. Do you think that? was...
No, it was a curveball that hit him on the
Okay,
foot.
it was unintentional.
It was
You
a
didn't feel
breaker.
like it was
It was a
malice,
nothing burger.
No, it
Okay.
wasn't anything. It didn't hit him
I
in
was
the
going to
ribs
ask about
or
that. Like,
anything.
we were talking all the Josh Jacobs stuff, but I saw that he got hit by a pitch, and I'm like, oh no.
Well,
Was that the retaliation moment?
If it was, that's a nothing burger.
that wasn't anything. Yeah,
Yeah, okay.
I wouldn't say anything with it from the Jake Bauers instance. Plus, I mean, if you're going to play the dangerous game of like I'm going to hit Jake Bauers,
No, don't go
intentionally,
hitting. Yeah,
I mean,
Jake Bauers coming.
Wait till you go pick a ball up out of Lake Michigan after later in the ball game.
Well,
So-
and later in this season when you have to face the Miz again and he puts one in somebody's ribs.
gosh.
dude,
Imagine if like Miz decided like it's like all right, we're gonna choose Mizorowski
Right.
to retaliate.
Taking matters into his own hands. We had Mizorowski, and yesterday was Flowers for Miz. And Kyle Harrison, again, he did it in
Yeah.
Chicago. He did it again yesterday. He said to the Miz, hold my beer.
He's
Now
a dog.
he only had 2 strikeouts, but
Yeah.
he pitched 6 shutout innings. His ERA is down to 1.60.
Yeah.
5.7, I think it is.
Is it
1.57?
That was yesterday.
unbelievable.
I think. Is that like for the season? He's 1.57.
Yes.
Holy
yes.
cow.
Yeah.
I thought he was 1.7 something, which is even like that's ridiculous.
It was going into the game yesterday, and now 1.57 for Kyle Harrison. The team is 8-2.
Is he officially
in his
qualified?
Starts.
Like
he is not.
He's not.
Okay,
I don't know
He's
why.
got to be real close. He's got to be right on that.
Really
edge.
don't know why. He's made 10 starts. The Miz has made 11. So I don't know why
he's
would.
13 innings. It's innings. It's not.
It's
starts.
just the number of
It's
pitches
innings.
and innings.
I guess, but
Yeah,
it feels
it's
like
innings pitched.
he's giving you a quality outing every time he goes out there. So I don't get the math on it. But regardless, not quite yet qualified. Still, there is a legitimate
Still
argument.
best trade that's ever been made.
It's pretty. It was hard to top the Andrew Vaughn trade last year for Matt Arnold, and I think he did outdo himself with this Kyle Harrison trade. And we are officially on. Do the Brewers have the best 1-2 punch in Major League Baseball watch? Like that is,
You got to think so.
that is, we are right there wondering if the Brewers have the best 1-2 punch between Miz and Harrison. And even today, just casually, Chad Patrick, is he about to give up?
He just gave up a run.
Well, he was doing his thing for 3 2/3 of this. If he gives up just one in the 4 innings of work, I don't think that's on Patrick by any means either. The Brewers just have the biggest embarrassment of riches at the starting pitching depth. I had a tweet or a post come in during the leadoff show, and Sconson said, Chad Patrick, not bad for your 8th starting pitcher on the team.
Yeah. That's not a bad 8th pitcher. I think we can handle that. What do you think about the Cubs right now?
Oh, it's beautiful.
Do you think that, I mean, they're going to right the ship, aren't they? I mean, obviously we don't want them to.
Or not.
But they went from first to worst in the division, I just saw. So,
well, imagine you have
they are so bad right now.
2 10-game winning streaks. I believe they were 27-12
to start this season. Like, that's insane.
Now you just gave one of your 10-game winning streaks right back to the baseball gods there. What do you got?
Real quick. So you have to pitch 1 inning for every game your team has played. The Brewers have played 52 games.
And you're going to tell me it's 51 innings for
And he has pitched 51 2/3 innings.
Oh, that's garbage.
So he is literally a third of an inning. So assuming in his next start, which is 5 days away, he'll go 5 1/3.
Yeah, if he goes 6, he'll
right. If he goes 6, he's definitely qualified.
All right.
Yeah.
Well,
so and there's a day off, so he actually only need. Will probably
did y'all
only need
see
to go
that?
4.
He's like he was only the second Brewer with CC Sabathia to have that low of an ERA in his first.
I think it's lower. I think it's the
lower.
lowest.
It's lower.
He's lower, and CC is
the
second.
only one under 2. I guess is what it was.
The first 10 starts with the team.
The innings is the
That's
biggest
insane.
discrepancy on those two because CC just was going 8 innings every single
Yeah.
time. He
Yeah,
went
but
out
he was
there.
a man
But,
by the time he came out. Harrison's still a boy for now. He'll
well,
get there.
He's becoming a man in front of
He
our
is,
eyes. He is a man amongst boys when he is on the mound for sure. And this Brewers team, I'm ready to start saying crazy things, guys. I'm ready to start saying.
Take a deep breath. Take a deep breath.
Like Wags yesterday was saying crazy things.
Wags got me really fired up to say crazy things.
Yeah,
I mean,
he's like, make one move and like this team's going to win a World Series. I mean, that's what it seemed to be.
It's a shortstop, by the way.
ooh, is it at shortstop or is it at third base?
Well, I mean, they might affect each other, but I just don't
Because
think
you got to get a bat and a
Right.
glove.
You
right?
just can't play I don't know that you can play Ortiz full time, and I don't trust Hamilton's glove.
Dude, David Hamilton is a liability on
Yeah.
defense.
I mean, he
know
made an amazing dive, like jumping, leaping
Yeah.
catch, but he also in the first inning, there's a ground ball to him, and he just bobbles it.
He's got a noodle.
He's just a showman.
He's got a noodle of an arm
Right.
too.
He doesn't
in the
have a
park
joke.
home runs and just amazing plays. You can't do the
Right.
easy stuff.
I know we got a shorter show today, but I also want to throw out, and we talked about it, in light of the Josh Jacobs news. My solution is not just Josh Sweat, but it's Tyler Algier as well. Go get them both.
Go get them both.
Algier. Go get them both.
Okay.
What do you mean? They're both on the Cardinals.
Yeah.
It's you just go get them both.
Ooh, a LaFleur with LaFleur trade.
Right.
Yeah, you know,
I saw a
would you
potential
trade?
Alvin
Because-
Kamara.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that.
Trade.
But Algier literally went to the Cardinals to be the starting running back. And then they picked Jeremiah Love. They have James Conner, who's like the captain of the team and everybody loves. So they're not trading Conner. If Trey Benson's healthy, they have the backups for Love. They have more than enough running backs. Just go get Algier.
Okay, so what about you make a trade with the Cardinals Tyler Algier, Josh Sweat, Mike LaFleur. In return, you send back
Relax.
Matt LaFleur.
Hold on. You can't trade. I muted him.
We're
All right. Just kidding, Tommy. You can get,
I mean, I think a lot of people would be like, yeah, I'm all in for it. I'm all in. Trade him, Matt LaFleur.
We trade the
that
brothers
is the
for each
issue,
other.
though, right? If you like for trades, like what are you trading now? Like you're just going to trade your draft picks for next year?
Well, can you trade up to 5 years, or is it still 3? They're talking about it, but they didn't.
It's still 3.
The Browns were the ones that wanted it to be 5
but it
years,
hasn't been voted. It hasn't been approved yet.
Of course,
the Browns just want to get. Yeah, they're just like, hey, we'll just trade off all of our picks. They're probably going to be good picks. So yeah, we'll leverage this thing out for years to come.
I think that
but that's my solution. If things go the wrong way,
I'm like, who do you trade on this?
Yeah, I have no
right
idea.
now?
That's the thing.
It's picks. I mean, you're gonna have to trade
picks, and I don't know. Like, do they have an offensive lineman? Kennard? I don't
want to trade any.
I don't either.
Yeah, I don't know.
Do they have depth at any position?
There's nowhere where I would feel good about.
We should have re-signed Malik Willis. We should have re-signed Malik Willis because then we could have traded him.
Could have traded him.
So no kick
or Jacoby
rush.
Brissett.
No kick rush. Per Ryan Wood, Trace Mack's first publicly observed field goal attempts in a Packers jersey. Good from 26, good from 28, good from 30, good from 31, good from 32, good from 33. Wide right from 35.
Okay.
Good from 34.
All right, so he missed one.
Missed
really,
one.
Is that
really
bad?
tough? Really tough field goal set there.
Mason, is that bad?
Easing him in.
That's what they do.
I mean, no, it's not bad.
Do we hate him now? Do we hate Smack?
We don't hate him, but I
bring McManus back.
So I don't remember kicking that many kicks inside of 40 yards ever in a set of field goals.
It seems a little silly.
Starters in team per Andy Herman today.
Maybe they did. Maybe they do 2 sets. Maybe with this with the new special teams coordinator,
they'll do
it's like a
deep
short
ones also.
set and a long set. Yeah, who knows?
Jordan Love at quarterback. So for all you Tyrod Taylor guys,
relax. No, there are no Tyrod.
Okay,
Taylor.
so Jordan is he's the
Tommy.
starter
You are
still.
the worst.
Chris Brooks was at running back. Bo Melton, Savion Williams, the wide receivers.
Yeah,
Bo Melton was wearing the offensive jersey today.
What about
by the way.
Savion Williams at running back?
At running back, I think he's in play.
Do a little
I think so.
Ty Montgomery action.
Yeah, just a little Randall Cobb.
Just officially moved to running back.
Luke Musgrave, Josh Wiley at the tight ends. The offensive line from left to right goes Morgan, Banks, Ryan, Belton, Kennard.
Okay.
Who's Brooks on the defensive side? Is that Chris? No, it's not Chris Brooks. That's
Carl Brooks.
Carl Brooks. Yeah. So I was like, why can't I remember? Carl Brooks, Warren Brinson, Javon Hargrave on the defensive line. Edge Cooper, Zaire Franklin, and the middle.
Franklin wearing the green.
That
button.
was also something I wanted to bring up. Keyshawn Nixon, Carrington Valentine, Evan Williams, Xavier McKinney are the 2 safeties. Zaire Franklin wearing the green dot over Edger and Cooper. Now I'm wondering, with Quay Walker departing, Zaire Franklin, not a replacement necessarily for Quay Walker, but maybe a lack in confidence in Edger and Cooper to wear that green dot?
Are they going to use Edger and Cooper more as an edge rusher and just let him loose and they don't want
him around?
Yeah,
I think so. A little more
Zaire Franklin's the anchor of that middle line of that linebacker crew.
Yeah, he's the veteran there.
I think that's smart. I mean, the guy's a vet. He knows.
And if Edge is
going to lead it,
and if Edge is as good as we think he is, just let him loose, right?
Are we going to see way less Isaiah McDuffie now that Jeff Hafley's gone too?
Could be. I don't know.
Possibly.
Is he the third guy? Who's the third guy?
He's probably the third guy.
He's the third guy.
So he'll be in there,
unless Hopper gets a chance.
Yeah.
I just think that we saw so much McDuffie because he was Jeff Hafley's boy. But
if Josh Jacobs is not this running back, like whenever you read out those names, obviously we didn't have Golden and Watson and Reed aren't the receiver. But when you read off that offense, I was like, ugh.
Yes.
Oh,
you are.
Were
correct.
you not like when you're reading that?
Kraft.
The offensive line was fine. I think the offensive line actually is the strength right now of that of the offense. Like Kennard's not going to be there. You're going to have Tom. Like quarterback in that offensive line should be like, okay, if those starters should be good. But as you're reading off, like you don't have Kraft, you don't have Jacobs. Like those first 3 games now on this offensive side of the ball. If Josh Jacobs say nothing happens and he does get suspended though. say the NFL does something, he's still on this team. But those first 3 games now become a little trickier. If Kraft isn't fully back, you don't have Micah Parsons, you don't have Josh Jacobs. Are we a little more worried about those first games?
I think Tucker Kraft's playing week 1.
Yeah, I think so too. I think so too.
Yeah.
I also think our pitching just has to step up and win a couple of 2-0 games in those first 3 weeks for the Packers. The pitching just has to shut everybody down.
The pitching?
Yeah, just win 2-0. Just the defense pitches shutouts.
Trey Smack, obviously. Right. Just kick field goals inside 40 yards and we're good.
Win a couple of 8-0 games, 2 field goals
inside
to safety.
35 yards, actually, according to Ryan Wood. He has not made a kick over 35 yards.
Okay. But he hasn't kicked one over 35
yards.
Yeah. All right, Mason's extra points. Man, this show is short. Cool. Mason's extra points are next here on the Mason Crosby Show.
Let's get it.
extra points. Powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook on the Mason Crosby Show with Mitch Nellis. On the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network.
All right. Good show today. Tough show. I mean, talking about all this stuff with Josh Jacobs, it's just I hope everything gets sorted out. And yeah, these are always tough situations, but appreciate everyone that joined and listened and jumped on. Tommy, Mitch, we're just going to keep watching this Brewers game now. And Tommy's just going to keep working the rest of the day. So
hey, today's like an off day.
I'm off to go chase kids around and do some fun things this afternoon. As
what do you got?
We're not in school.
What do you got?
I don't know. Molly wants me to get them out of the house, so we're going to get them going to the playground.
Driving range?
Do something fun. I don't know. Yeah, maybe get Nolan hitting.
Or mini golf?
Golf ball.
How about some mini golf?
I don't know about mini golf. I don't know if they love that as much as I would.
Play.
Yeah,
I love mini golf.
But yeah, I saw. Savion Williams, I think, is going to be the answer running back if Josh Jacobs is out. So that's my guy.
He's Mason Crosby. I'm Mitch Nellis. Tommy Wirtz is here. I'm on my way to go give blood. Remember, everybody, you have a chance to save a life. Versity.org, VERSITI, Versity.org to find a location near you. I'm going to the JCC. I'll be right in the community room, and I'll have all the snacks. That's my favorite part.
Make sure you be positive there, Mitch.
I will be, because I'm a B+ student, so that's me. Everybody have a great night. Come on, Brewers, let's get a couple runs. It's the Mason Crosby Show.
Let's get it.
I was